Hello everyone and welcome to your Advective weather update on a triple threat occurring across the United States. This is going to be a longer video, so buckle up. First things first, we have an ice storm occurring in the southern United States all the way from Texas to Tennessee. We also have a flooding threat that's going to be occurring tomorrow across parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and other parts of the southern U.S. And finally, we have a very potent wind chill situation developing in the northeastern United States with wind chills as bitter as 50 below zero being possible. Let's get started with the current overview over the next 3 days. As of now, you'll notice that we do have widespread freezing rain and ice possible across parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Tennessee, and then we also have rain on the southern side of that, and we also have some snow there, lake effect snow and other modes of snow in the northern U.S. as well. Pay attention to that front in Canada. That advances south as our low pressure system in the southern U.S. also advances. You'll notice rather widespread snow in the northeastern United States, bitter cold temperatures there in the northern plains, a potential flood threat in the red hatched area, and freezing rain, of course, in that pink area that we've been talking about as well, extending still from Texas all the way through to Tennessee, poking into Kentucky and Virginia a little bit as well. And then finally, 3 days out, our main system there in the southern U.S. that's been causing all the ice begins to move off the coast there as it moves over Georgia, primarily producing rain. And then you'll notice there that potent cold front digging into the United States. That's going to be the cause for those sub 50 below zero wind chills across the northeastern U.S. So let's get into what's currently going on. You'll notice here that we have some significant wintry precipitation currently occurring. Snow and ice. This is probably more icy than the current radar projects here. Sometimes this radar overdoes the snow stuff, but this is mostly ice that is falling across the southern United States right now, especially in Texas, where the most major impacts are expected. When it comes to temperatures, you'll notice there in the northeastern U.S., things are rather chilly. We had those negative 20-degree temperatures there just north of the U.S. border near Montreal and Canada. But you'll notice here that things are beginning to warm up throughout the day. Those bitter cold temperatures aren't here just yet. Well, let's get started now with an overview of the ice storm. Freezing rain mixing with sleet at times is expected to continue all the way through Thursday, although this will be over by the end of Thursday. That's the good news. Additional ice accumulations of 1/4 to 1/2 inch, and maybe even 3/4 in a very worst case scenario, are forecast over west, central, and northern Texas. An additional 1/10 to 1/4 inch of ice is forecast over southern Oklahoma, much of Arkansas, and east through the greater Memphis metro area as well. Accumulating ice on roadways, especially bridges and overpasses, will continue to cause treacherous travel conditions. If you are within the ice storm or winter storm warnings currently in place, do not travel. That is extremely dangerous to do right now. Power outages and further tree damage remain expected. Lots of power outages already occurring, especially in Texas at this time. Well, let's take a look at the warnings in a bit more detail here. You can see those ice storm warnings that are in place that stretch all the way from the Texas-Mexico border, all the way through into parts of Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, and even the boot heel of Missouri now in some ice storm warnings as well. Winter storm warnings on the southern end of that, where both snow and ice are expected. You can even see a bit of those flood watches associated with the flash flooding threat tomorrow creeping in as well. Those lighter purple areas, those are winter weather advisories. They're not as high of a threat level as winter storm and ice storm warnings. However, if you are within those winter weather advisories, you still want to stay tuned to local officials and be careful while traveling. Well, let's take a look at the bigger picture now. This is the Winter Storm Severity Index. You can see that large area of moderate impacts, primarily impacting Texas. Minor impacts still in place, though, across parts of Arkansas, heading into parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. But again, those moderate impacts, that wide swath, that's going to be where the most of our problems remain, as again, over 1/2 inch of ice could accumulate that is yet to come on top of the ice that's already occurred in parts of Texas. Well, let's take a look at the official forecast. This is courtesy of the National Weather Service. You can see there, again, over 1/2 inch of ice being possible, especially through central Texas. You can see that rather robust arc almost of 1/4 to 1/2 inch ice totals. It's very large, moving through central Texas, and then you can see on the northern and southern fringes there as things fall off. That's where our winter weather advisories are currently in place. All right, well, we've gone over that. Let's go over the next threat. This is going to be the super cold wind chills that are going to be moving through the northeast this weekend. And you can see, again, though, 50 below zero wind chills are possible there. Near Bangor, we're going to be having around 50 below zero. Near Carbonu, around 53 below. You can see there negative 54 in New Hampshire. And we have on those color contours below 60 below zero So negative 60 or less temperatures, wind chills expected there along the Maine, New Hampshire, Canada border. So quite a serious thing going on there for sure. And again, wind chill watches currently in place. Those are in place from Friday night through Saturday afternoon, and those will likely remain in place and become warnings as time goes on. All right, let's take a look at the official forecast here. This is the lows tonight. You can see there those 13, 16 below zero temperatures in North Dakota heading into Minnesota as we head into tomorrow night. So our lows on Friday, you can see there that cold air mass just plunging in to the central, north central plains of the United States. 20 below zero temperatures there in Minnesota, absolutely brutal. And then finally, as we move into Saturday, you can see those brutal temperatures moving into the northeastern U.S., sub-zero temperatures stretching all the way from North Dakota through Maine, heading into Canada. So rather serious situation there for sure. And again, those wind chill watches currently in place in the northeastern U.S. as wind chills of 50 below zero or less are possible. All right, well, let's take a look at the national blend of models, courtesy of the National Weather Service here over the next few days. So this is what we're currently looking at. So this is as we head into Thursday, what things are currently looking like. And you'll notice that we have those 1 2 below zero wind chills there in Maine. That's not so bad. Things warm up throughout the day. They're not looking bad at all, but you can see there that cold front moving in rather quickly. And again, there we go. Those 49, 50 below zero temperatures, 53 below, you can see on one contour in Maine being a possibility as the system does move in. So rather serious wind chills up there in the northeastern U.S. Be keeping an eye on that and be keeping an eye on local weather alerts, wind chill watches, warnings, etc., and how to prepare for those. We'll be talking about that here in a little bit. Final thing to talk about is the flash flooding threat tomorrow in the southern United States. You can see there in the blue regions, that's half an inch of rain or more. As we head into the lighter blues, that's an inch or more of rain, and then an inch and a half or more of rain as we head into those purple regions. And then here is the official forecast. So a marginal risk stretching all the way from near the Houston metro, all the way through near Charleston, South Carolina, nudging its way into North Carolina a little bit. That's a marginal risk, so at least a 5% chance of rainfall exceeding flash flood guidance. So flash flooding, basically about a 5% chance of that. And then a 15% chance there is denoted across from around Louisiana, Texas border, all the way through the Atlanta metro in Georgia, a 15% or greater chance of excessive rainfall occurring. All right, well, let's take a look at a weather model that kind of depicts what's going on here overall. You can see the ice storm going on today. Here we are heading into about midnight, heading into tomorrow. That ice storm still lingers. Most of that ice now moving out of Texas, heading into Tennessee, and you can see that conveyor belt of rain causing our flooding threat, and you can see the low pressure system there to the north, ushering in that cold front that's going to be bringing extreme cold to the northern plains and the northeastern United States. All right, well, with that being said, let's see here. What can you do? So this goes for winter storm, ice storm, wind chill, watches, warnings. If you're in a watch, that means the conditions are favorable for whatever hazard is currently forecast. So you want to be preparing for that hazard during that time. And then if you're in a warning, that means that the hazard is imminent, if not already occurring, and you need to take actions. And basically take the preparations that you've already done and put them into action so that way you can conduct life-saving actions if needed within those warning areas. So let's talk about ice storms here specifically for a second. You guys are currently in an ice storm. If you have the chance, you want to trim those weak or damaged branches around your home if you can, if you haven't already, and you're not in the ice. If it is currently icing, do not go outside. Do not leave vehicle wipers raised. That's not a good idea. Those will get iced down. Those can get damaged. You want to have a week's worth of food and prescriptions. Hopefully you already have those. Don't park your car under trees. If those trees fall on your car is done. You want to keep devices charged. This goes for both the wind chill areas and the ice storm areas. When it comes to power outages, be careful with heat sources. Candles and space heaters are a fire risk. You want to also stay warm by bundling up and keeping doors closed, placing towels in cracks, things like that as well. If you can confine yourself to a smaller room with a few people, that also can really warm you up as your body heat can warm up the room. You want to practice generator safety as well. You want to use those generators outdoors at least 20 feet away from your home because you want to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning. You want to have a carbon monoxide detector in your home as well and make sure that's been checked and is working before you start this as well, so if a problem does arise, you'll know about it. And finally, if you can, you want to check on your neighbors, so that way if something's wrong over in their neck of the woods, you can help them out as well. Especially in situations like this, sometimes people kind of forget to check on the people around them. They may really need the help, so please check on your neighbors if you can. And then finally, for those of us in the flood threat, do not drive down flooded roadways and make sure to get to higher ground while bringing important documents with you if in a flood warning. Turn around, don't drown, that's the main message. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video on the triple threat occurring across the United States was useful. We had a lot to cover today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can leave those in the comments section down below as well. We also have a Discord server where you can meet me and the rest of the Advective Weather team so we can talk about this triple threat as it continues as well. Thanks again for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next video. And with that, have a nice and weather-ready safe day.